Good evening, FMCG TV viewers. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Badhri Seshadhri. He is a book publisher. He is a technology person. He has done his education at IIT Madras, and he is also a very quality YouTuber. He runs Kirak News, which helps a average person to understand some of the most important day-to-day affairs. Instead of reading the newspaper in full, he tries to give the best out of the matters and educate the normal public. Today I have him. I have been trying to have him for quite some time. Welcome, Mr. Badhri Seshadhri.
Thank you, Ganesh Ram, for inviting me.
Yes,
Thank you.
Today I want to have a dialogue with you regarding the bribe corruption areas, which has taken our country backwards.
Yes.
And the common man today is actually having, he has accepted bribe. Totally we have accepted bribe. Suppose we see a news that an officer is caught for 50,000 rupees bribe. And we feel very sorry for that person. 50,000 crores and all fellows are stealing. After all, this fellow is being caught.
Right, that's correct.
The nature, we have seen in West Bengal also a minister caught with nearly, I think, less than 300 plus crores of cash.
Right.
So, request you to give a very good view about the cost of corruption and the ignorance by the common man, how it takes him individually backward in the world.
So, firstly, corruption is not unique only to India. It's spread across the world and it exists to varying degrees in different societies. Right? And it is not a new phenomena. It existed well before the modern democratic government. So, wherever there is an option for people to make quick bucks by whatever means, people have always done so. So, we have to look at the the whole issue of corruption from that point of view. Right?
Okay.
We may talk about dharma, righteousness. You can invoke all kinds of religious books, but the reality is that by and large, individuals are not honest, by and large, and only the rule of law forces them to be honest. This is the general trend.
Okay. Strict laws generally forces.
Generally, right? Enforcement of laws and strict punishment. So, even during the period, if we generally talk about in India, golden age of kings ruling, righteous kings, dharmic kings, maybe the great Rajaraja Chola,
Yes.
or we will talk about Ashoka the Great, or Chandragupta Maurya. You name many such kings. They had very strict code of conduct, punishment. People caught having done something wrong have been given exemplary punishment.
Okay.
And our Dharma Shastras have always called for it. Now, let's keep these things in mind. Right? What has happened is that by and large, the judicial system that we have, if we come to the Indian context specifically, we have adapted that from the British jurisprudence. Right? And we had great exposure to corruption also through British East India Company.
Oh.
Okay. The modern corruption that we talk about, in my opinion, starts from, this is what a lot of economists also say, the British East India Company came here, they were not expecting the kind of extraordinarily rich society that was here.
Okay.
It was unequal society, but people at the top were extraordinarily rich.
Okay.
The average zamindar or a tax collector of the Mughal kingdom had access to more money than the emperor of Britain.
Oh.
The Mughal wealth bowled them over when Mughals were in their decline.
I see.
Mughals were in their decline when the British came here.
British.
And they have written a lot.
Jamindar system existed during Mughal period itself?
Yes,
only
in varying forms. I mean, it gets
could have been.
standardized a little later
Okay.
under the Jamindari and the Rayatwari system gets standardized under the British. But general tax collection models existed. You may call them all kinds of, different governments had Mughals had a certain system. Right?
Okay.
By way of tax collection, you had Nawabs who had access to a larger region and they were supposed to collect. It's equivalent to the, general suzerain states under a large,
Okay.
South Indian kingdoms, where you were supposed to collect tax in your region and give a share of that to the emperor.
Okay.
Right? So this has always existed in different structures. Right? So when they came here, the first thing that the British asked for, slowly, they wanted to do trade. That was the first thing. And then eventually they figured out that there was a lot more money if you could get access to the tax collection system. So they were looking to be the tax collectors. That is how they started. And then what happened was, at that time, both in their business, they were supposed to procure items of importance for the British market. To start with here, the textiles, and then the spices, and thereafter from all the way tea, coffee and much more, that they were procuring from India. What they were doing was, they were allowing their employees, who are called clerks or factors, they said, you can do business on the side. That's where the corruption starts.
Okay.
So you do business for me, that is the company, East India Company.
East India Company.
On the side, you also do business for yourself. Today, we don't allow such things in our company. If you run a company,
Yes.
you are into trading, we won't allow our employee to also
Be
do
a
business on the
full-time,
side.
yes.
Right? In those days, East India Company allowed that. All the key people of East India Company were corrupt to the core. Robert Clive, is known to be corrupt. In fact, he is tried in the British Parliament. Okay, having taken so much of wealth from here, he comes in front of the Parliament and he says, you don't know how modest I was. I took only so much.
Oh,
Because I had access to taking so much more,
I didn't do.
I had to control myself. Right? That is the kind of, and they then subsequently changed, they increased the salary substantially, and they wanted their officers to be exemplary. Even then, there was corruption in their system. Right? So you can imagine anybody working in that kind of an atmosphere, that is literally the government getting to know that a little bit can be done here or there.
Okay.
Okay, so it is not new for us. The modern governance system that we got from the British, it gave us a lot, but it also gave us, in some sense, the organized governmental corruption.
Okay.
Okay, it might have been there even before, earlier, but this is well organized corruption.
Okay.
But also, this was the period of reform when they increased the salaries, they wanted the civil servants to be uncorrupted. And there was also a period of extraordinarily forthright officers, which carried into the post-independence period also. So there is no way we can say in the post-independent period, be it the ministers of the government of India or the states, that they were corrupt. That is why even little bit of a scandal, right, whiff of a scandal, right, made the heads of the government to sack or persuade people to put in their papers.
Okay.
Right? So you know of T.T. Krishamacharya resigning.
Yes.
Okay. You have Mundra scandal talked about in a big way. You have a lot of these scandals talked about, and immediately the punishment was resignation. But slowly over time that changed, and when a lot of humble people came to the government and had access to a kind of money that they were spending on people, people's money spending on people, but you were seeing millions and billions of rupees, right? You have the very famous statement by an erstwhile Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu saying, if you are, collecting honey, would you not
Yeah.
lick a little bit of
Yes,
it.
in Tamil the proverb exists.
தேன் எடுத்தவன் புறங்கையை நக்க மாட்டான்.
Yeah.
Right? So that sort of, I'm not saying he justified and he encouraged everybody to be corrupt, but it shows the kind of lure that was available. And as you are also sort of moving away from the concept of righteousness and dharma, where there was also a lot of tumultuous period of godlessness from the Dravidian movement. And again, I'm not saying only that, because Congress government before that the DMK replaced, also had its share of corruptions across the country, not just here. To that day, from that day to this day, we have been seeing corruption at the government level. We have had various people weigh in with the concept that the ministers were not corrupt, the officials are corrupt. To the ministers are corrupt and they are forcing officials to become corrupt. And then the officials, hand in hand with the ministers, showing them the ropes. When a new government comes, it is the official who says,
Who teaches them how to
all these things
money.
can be done. And new parties picking members from old parties to help them in
systematically undertake correction.
So this is the framework. Now to come to the point that you asked, what is the impact for people?
Before that, can you give a brief about TTK's corruption resignation matter? Because I have only heard that Nehru did the corruption and TTK had to resign. No.
See, it is not that either of them were corrupt. That's my view.
Your view.
But when accusations come about, as like today, then also the opposition parties mounted phenomenal campaign.
Okay.
That you are somehow involved in this.
Okay.
Right? So that is what led to, the government is bigger than any individual. Right? TTK, in fact, TT Jagannathan, who is no more, who just passed away a few months back, who like me was IIT Madras student, and also was educated in Cornell University, which is where I went to for my PhD. He built, along with his brothers, the TTK family empire. He said, he has written a book. He says, our father was an impediment to our growth. As a politician, he was not allowing us to grow, because his fear was that if you grow, people will say it is because of me. Right? So that man, T.T. Krishnamachari,
so he was
a honest person. But things tick on you. Right? So I would say 100% Nehru was not at all corrupt right through. Nobody, except for there are, in the Punjab ministry, there were people who were corrupt. There were corrupt people too, even then. But Nehru is impeccable. There is no question of even whiff of corruption there. It is just that when institutions under you make certain decisions, it reflects on you.
You own responsibility.
Right? That is what actually happened, and opposition can be ruthless, like it is today.
Yes, power.
Today at least, you have people saying that, I am not going to resign. And if the chief minister or the prime minister will back you, nothing can happen to you. But in those days, people were very worried about their imagery also. So they were careful. Right? So corruption happened, it got institutionalized, I would say, in the central government, primarily from the time of Indira Gandhi. Again, I'm not saying that there was zero corruption before. But there was plenty of, wink, wink, I will let go of you. Basically, if something happens, do it quietly. Party fund was another thing, until now in the current government is discovering, the current TVK government is discovering that party fund is the norm in our state government. And they are, from what we hear, they are saying no party fund, stop.
But is that news to you?
I would believe them right now that if they are
No. For
that
your,
party fund existed, you mean?
your exposure, for your exposure, do you think it's a new thing you are hearing?
That they are trying to stop, you mean?
No, not only stop. It is
Oh,
a
party
normal.
fund is a common knowledge. Common knowledge.
But we were not aware of the intricacies.
The intricacies, in fact, I can tell you clearly, the preliminary documents put together by ED against the previous minister K. N. Nehru, and they are asking the local police to file an FIR, only then ED can pursue. So they did a raid and they collected some material, and based on which they have written 2 letters. A lot of the details have all been leaked out.
Yes, DGP.
They have given very clear modus operandi. It mentions very clearly PF as party fund, and it talks about people being taken to the then Chief Minister M.K. Stalin,
Okay.
and party funds were always discussed. Okay. That document came out before election.
Yes.
Right? So the idea of a party fund is very much documented, and now you have the current government saying no talk of party fund, stop the party fund.
Okay.
Whether this will continue to remain so, we have to see.
Still, it is good news for our ears.
Exactly. And you see today's newspapers talking about how the open commission and cutting that came from the liquor companies to the officials and the party people, amounting to approximately 600 crore per year. That has also been talked about, saying that the ministers have said now, no cutting. We don't want per box so much rupees coming to us. Right? So this is what.
And it was also quid pro quo between DMK and ADMK.
I mean, whichever government was in power. Whichever government was in power.
They did adjust something.
They were doing 2 things. One is that who you give order to, the procurement. So, for example, in the last 5 years, large percentage of procurement in TASMAC, this is what the Dinamalar newspaper has written in detail, 70% of hard liquor and close to 60% of beer was procured only from the DMK controlled companies.
Okay.
The remaining given to few others, including some ADMK companies.
Okay.
When ADMK comes to power, the flip happens.
Okay.
And some neutrals also get. Okay. Real estate corruption is very well known. Who are the people who are fronting the real estate development in Chennai and Tamil Nadu? You know that.
Correct.
You know who is
Company
powering it and where who is pumping money into that. That also we know. Okay. If you take real estate, to get permission, I mean, normal person